Welcome back everyone, hope you're doing well. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but in this guide, I'm going to teach you how to use the clone henchman puppet strategy. I don't even consider it as a strategy, it's just chaotic, it's not even usable, it's so bad, it's trash. I don't even know why I was recommended to do this. So anyway, let's jump into it. This is the army that I've cooked. Now you may think, what the hell is this? And frankly, I do not blame you. There's a specific reason why I have those troops, and that is due to the funnel for the attack. Now obviously, since it's a clone henchman puppet strategy, I needed at least 2 clone spell capacity. Then I was very limited with my choices of spells. I tried with the RC charge. I couldn't because I didn't have enough spells for a small RC charge and a recall. And because I couldn't sacrifice her, since I was doing a kill squad afterward, if I had just, let's say, my king or my queen, because I had to sacrifice one of them, I couldn't sacrifice my warden or my minion prince obviously, then the kill squad will be extremely weak and I couldn't afford that. So the RC charge is out of the picture. I tried the fireball at the beginning for funnel, but it uses way too much invisibility spells and I couldn't waste my warden, meaning I needed to recall him before sending my kill squad. So that was out of the picture. So now I was really struggling. What could I actually do? And I started to think, wait, I remember seeing something somewhere, I don't know where, but it's in my memory, and it was the usage of the Super Valkyrie and the E-Dragon to do a funnel. Since I'm not using any spells and only the troop, this was an amazing way to do a setup. So I used 2 Super Valkyries and 2 E-Dragons. I let my Valkyrie die, I put a few Cocoa Balloons for my E-Dragons, and then after I let the E-Dragons do some good funnel. Of course it depends on the base, but it is very effective in a good base. So I've cooked with this and had the best success with it. Now that being said, I'm going to talk about the troops, the spells, the siege machine, my CC, and my heroes. Let's jump into the troops. So like I said before, I have 9 balloons. Some of them will help to be Cocoa Loons for my E-Drags and for my henchmen later on for the, technically speaking, main push. I have 2 Super Valkyries used to sacrifice themselves for their rages, and I have 2 E-Dragons to use as a funnel purpose using the rage spell. Now I know it's not always consistent because you can't really control where the Valkyrie will die. Therefore, the rage spell might not be used at all, but when it does, it is very good for a good funnel. So try your best, plan beforehand, see where you can send your Valkyrie and die, and check the spot where she can drop her rage spell and send your E-Dragons for a good funnel. Speaking of funnel, I have 2 Yetis, a baby dragon, and a Valkyrie. They will help to create a smaller funnel for my kill squad after the E-Dragons do their job. The Valkyrie is also here to help and clear up any pesky skeleton traps. I have a wall breaker to break in the base so that way my king and my queen can enter the base easily. I have 1 ice golem to tank for my main troops for the kill squad, so most of the heroes. I have an apprentice warden to boost their health. I have 3 healers to keep my heroes and troops alive inside the base, therefore they get more value. And I have 2 headhunters to eliminate any enemy heroes. So as you can see, I'm investing a lot for my kill squad, and that's because the main army is extremely weak, so you need as much value as possible. Speaking of the main army, like we said before, I have some Cocoa Loons. They will help for my main push with the henchman puppet being cloned. So I'm also going to use a Dragon Rider. It'll help to destroy some defenses as well as tank some air traps and other defenses before it falls down. It's going to get some good value. I have 2 wizards, 1 archer, and 5 minions. All of them are used for cleanup troops. You can technically use one of the 2 wizards or both wizards as a funnel if you're able to find a spot where they're safe, but they're mainly used as a cleanup troop. You'll need cleanup because this attack is extremely slow with the henchman puppet being cloned. Don't forget they're time limited, therefore they won't stay forever on the field, meaning you'll lose a lot of cleanup power. Now for the spells, I have 1 skeleton spell to help tank for any single inferno tower, for any ricochet cannons, for any scatter shots, for any monolith. They help to tank for my log launcher as well as for my heroes temporarily. Now earlier I said I didn't want to do a fireball as a setup, but I never said that I wouldn't do a fireball after my setup. So this is what I'm doing. After my E-Dragons and my kill squad, I'm going to do a small fireball to create a better pathing and to accelerate things. That's why I have 2 invisibility spells and 2 earthquake spells. Obviously, I have 2 clone spells for my henchmen because I need to clone them. And because henchmen are only 10 spaces and the clones are 42 space of cloning, therefore each clones you get 4 extra henchmen, meaning in total you get 8 clones. 10 henchmen in total. They don't do the best damage. Obviously my henchman puppet is level 11, so they won't do much damage, but let's say you have level 15 or even 18, they'll do a little bit more damage. But even at level 11, they're pretty good at tanking, and I've realized that the higher level you are, obviously you're going to do more damage, but you'll do more tanking, meaning your warden and your minion prince will be safe behind them. Now because I'm doing a kill squad, I'm going to use the log launcher. Now for my CC troops, other than the troop launchers that I'm not gonna use, I have 1 Goblin and 3 Yetis. The 3 Yetis are here to clear up the core, and I have a rage spell for them, as well as a poison spell for any enemy CC. Now let's jump to the heroes. For the king, because I want the most value as possible, I put the Phoenix on it. It's going to get revived, and it's going to get a little bit more value. The Phoenix can also help to clear any types of air trap. I'm using the boots and the spiky ball. That way, you can open up the core for your queen, for himself, as well as for the Yetis, and the spiky ball to do more damage overall. For my queen, because I want her to stay alive as long as possible, I've decided to put the unicorn with it, as well as the healer puppets. Paired with the 3 other healers in my main composition, she's going to stay alive for a very long time, which is very good. And of course, I have the action figure, which acts like a third mini hero, very good for tanking and very good for dealing damage. Now, the star of the show, the Minion Prince. I've paired him with the Angry Jelly, obviously the Henchman puppet, because this is what we need for the strategy, and the Dark Crown. Now, I've paired the Angry Jelly for my Minion Prince because I really want him to clear off defenses as fast as possible, because this attack is extremely slow. You want to clear the most important buildings, which are the defenses, and at the back with the minions and the wizards, they can clean up the trash buildings. I have the Dark Crown equipped because I realized that even with the Dark Orb, you won't get as much value as the Dark Crown, because since you're cloning your Henchman puppet and they die over time, you're going to get your boost quite fast, and you don't necessarily need your 3rd boost. You just need the 2nd one, and it'll deal a lot of damage, and it's going to be very tanky, but you can manage to hit the 3rd stage with the other troops around dying. So it's a very good piece of equipment, pairs very well with the clone Henchman puppet strategy. And last but not least, I have the Warden, because I want to do a late fireball. I have the fireball and the rage gem to help boost the damage for my Minion Prince, as well as my henchman from the Henchman puppet and the clone. I have Diggy because it's going to help stun defenses at the beginning thanks to the balloons and the Dragon Riders targeting those defenses, so it's going to mitigate a lot of damage. So that's the comp. Let's jump into planning. Since 2 Super Valkyries and 2 A-Dragons equals 200 space of troop capacities, you need to have the best funnel as possible. So try to find the best value. I believe the best value is this area. So this is where you want to take out with your Super Valkyries and your A-Dragons. So what I'm going to do is probably use some Yetis right here on both these defenses. Both these wizard towers, they get down. That way, one of the Super Valkyries can go in right here on, let's say, the Dark Elixir pump. And she's going to go to the gold storage, and she's going to die, and you can send preemptively the Cocoloons. And then after, since it's a pretty big area, maybe you want to invest 2 of your E-Dragons to chain up and destroy this area completely under the Valkyrie Rage. This will also save you 1 Super Valkyrie, which you can actually invest in your main army. So this is very good value. You destroyed this area, and now you have 1 Super Valkyrie remaining. So now that the funnel is done, you want to go to your kill squad. And honestly, I think that I will send like my heroes around here until they path inside this compartment right here, this big compartment. So I want them to path here, and boom, right there. This is where I'm going to use my king's ability, so he opens up the compartment for the town hall. Or if the log launcher already opened the compartment for it, then I can save my king's ability for later on. But for them to enter the base, I need to invest few troops to clean up and funnel my heroes inside. So I can use a baby dragon right here. I can use a Valkyrie also. That way they can destroy those buildings right there. And while they're walking here, hopefully they don't walk here. Maybe the Yetis will destroy it beforehand. If it's not, you can use a wizard next to the Yeti, and then after, your heroes are set to path during that direction. Now here, once your heroes arrive here, you can send your long launcher to create a straight pathing downwards straight to the town hall, which will be very good. Now the heroes enters the base, they're going to destroy those buildings as well. Now they're going to enter the town hall compartment. Your king can use his ability to open up those compartments as well. Obviously the Yetis inside the log launcher will be able to pop off, and hopefully they go into that direction. They should, because the queen would clear up like those buildings, so the Yetis should be able to target those buildings right here. So you can invest a rage there, and the Yetis will destroy the core. Now, quickly speaking, you need to start your main push. So let's find a fireball value. I believe right here could be a good fireball value, maybe right here as well. You decide. I think right here it's the better value. It might create, actually no, those buildings we already destroyed, so let's say those are the heroes that destroyed these buildings, and right here as well, meaning you have all this area for your henchman puppet and main push to destroy. So you can use an invisibility spell right here and send your fireball to this area with your warden, meaning you'll destroy this defense, which means afterwards you can send a few Cocoloons. Of course, use some Cocoloons on the front for your warden in the air so that any black air mines can be tanked. And after, you can send your dragon rider right here with some Cocoloons. That way they're going to path downwards and you can destroy those defenses. You can send the minion prince behind, it's going to clear up some defenses, and few minions at the back so that way they can destroy some trash building. Once once your balloons and your Dragon Rider falls, it's when you want to use your Minion Prince ability or very close to use it. And once you pop it, it's when you can use your clone spell to clone your Henchman puppet. And because you have like some trash buildings cleared off, then they'll have an easier time to, let's say if there are any buildings left here, they can destroy it and then continue forward. Once they continue forward, you can use another clone spell so that they destroy those buildings as well. And now let's say those buildings are left, they can path here and destroy those buildings with ease. Nothing to worry about. So that's the planning. So it's really stupid. You shouldn't do this. It's not worth it. I did it because I was kind of forced to, but that's the strategy that I found. That's the planning that I was able to think of. Your funnel uses no spells allowed except for the dead Super Valkyrie. After it's just a normal kill squad that you put a lot of resources into. And then after it's a small fireball to create a better pathing for your troops as well as hopefully saving the lives of your kill squad heroes, your queen and your king. Now it's all about timing your ability with your minion prince. Use your clone or the henchman at the right time and to clear off the trash building outside. Now you really need those trash building to be cleared off with the minions and the wizards if you still have some, because like I said earlier on, it is extremely slow as an attack. The henchmen don't do much damage even under the rage gem. Now obviously, as you've seen, my henchman puppet was only level 11, so obviously if you have it level 15 or level 18, they're going to do way much damage and you'll get way much value, meaning way more consistency with this attack strategy. But it still worked with the level 11 henchman puppet, as I'm going to show you right away 2 attacks. This is the first attack with a clone henchman puppet. I'm going to use my E-Dragons to funnel with the rage of the Super Valkyrie. Then after I'm going to use a kill squad, which I'm going to invest a lot of resources with it. And then after I'm going to do a quick fireball. And then after I'm going to send a few balloons, a Dragon Rider, and my minion prince. I'm going to send a few minions behind, do as much cleanup as possible on the trash buildings. And then after, once my Dragon Rider is down, as well as 3 balloons, I can use my minion prince ability and clone the henchman. So let's start. As you can see, I've already sent my Super Valkyrie on both sides, and I sent my 2 E-Dragons. Because this is a very slow attack, I just let it ride. So now that's done, I can send my kill squad already. So I do a quick funnel with 2 Yetis on the side. They're going to destroy those bomb towers, and there's going to be a better funnel for my hero and my kill squad to go inside the base and destroy this town hall. That's very unlucky because both of my E-Dragons did not get the benefit of the rage spell of the Super Valkyrie, which I've talked about earlier. Sometimes you get the rage, sometimes you don't. You don't really have much control, especially when you're fighting an attack right away. That's the cost of it, but hopefully your kill squad that you invest a lot of resources in can deal with the rest. Where I'm going to send my fireball. Here I did a mistake because I didn't put invisible this Tesla. Therefore, I needed to wait a little bit before shooting my fireball. But since I don't have another invisibility spell, I had to destroy this Tesla manually. And one of the invisibility spell paid off. Therefore, I didn't get the best fireball possible. But I still got somewhat of a value. This is where I send my Cocoloons, the Dragon Rider, to do some damage onto those defenses and clear as much as possible to help and aid with the minion prince under the Angry Jelly effect. And after, when they fall, I'm going to clone my henchmen. Now, because I was quite near the end, I decided to use my minion prince ability right now. And after, when I have the opportunity, I'm going to clone my henchmen, and hopefully they can be used as tanking. So they've tanked a little bit. They dealt quite a significant amount of damage considering the level of the henchman puppet itself. And of course it was under the rage gem, so that helped. But it was also good for tanking, like the multi-inferno tower and the multi-archer tower. That's their benefit. Other than that, I don't see the greatest use with this. I mean, I guess it does a little bit of damage, but not compared to other heavy hitting troops like mass dragons. But enough said, let's go into the second attack. This is definitely a harder base to use the strategy, but it's a good test to see if the strategy works. So let's jump right into it. So here I think I got some pretty good value. Now I kind of threw here a little bit because I wanted my Yeti to go to this multi-archer tower to destroy it. But I sent it way too early. He targeted this first building. After he's going to target this building and not the multi-archer tower. So that was a little bit of a throw. So I had to invest another Yeti to come and destroy it. Other than that, let's continue. I did a small funnel for my heroes to go inside the base. I use a baby dragon for that. After I send my ice golem, my king, my queen, 2 healers, the log launcher, a cocoon for my healers, and let it ride. Here I raged up my Yetis and I put the rage precisely like this so that they can go around and target this defense and put them down. Now it's a little bit unfortunate that my heroes went outside a little bit, but I mean it's the only buildings left, so I don't really blame them. I still have my queen ability that I can use later on, take down the town hall, and very soon I'm going to use my fireball so that I create a small pathing, and after I can send my small push with the balloons, the dragon rider, and the minion prince. I sent a Valkyrie here to clean off this mortar. That way, it's one less invisibility spell to use. So my main target was this area. I think that's a very good value. Amazing Fireball is going to get a lot of value. Now as you can see, even though the Dragon Rider kind of died quite early, it gave a lot of value. It tanked for my Minion Prince, it did a lot of damage as well for buildings to accelerate the cleaning process of defenses. It's pretty good, and now the Minion Prince with the Rage Gem as well as some boost with the Dark Crown is going to be more bulky and is going to deal more damage overall. This is where I use my Henchman Puppet ability, as you can see, and I'm going to clone them. I'm going to play it at 1x speed so that you can see how it works. So the Henchman Puppet cloned at the end, they kind of got somewhat of a good value. They helped destroy the town hall quite fairly easily and quite fast, which honestly is quite surprising considering it's a level 11 Henchman Puppet. Obviously with a level 15 or 18, you're going to get way more value. You're going to destroy that town hall and other defenses way faster while staying alive. One of them took a lot of red air bombs, which is really good because it helped to clear this area off, meaning my Minion Prince and my Warden didn't die thanks to that Henchman Puppet sacrifice. So they did good tanking like I've shown, they did a good cleanup. But they're not the fastest, and because they're cloned, they have a limited time. Therefore, they won't stay forever on the field, and you'll lose a lot of firepower. That's why you need to use them strategically. You don't want to use them right away. Right here, I kind of use them, like both of them right away, but you kind of want to delay a little bit the cloning, like in the first attack, basically. So yeah, that was the attack. In conclusion, I really don't recommend this attack unless you're really crazy. I mean, it definitely works, but it's very inconsistent, especially with that E-Dragon Dragon and Super Valkyrie funnel at the beginning, you won't always get that rage boost unless if you planned quite well. Other than that, the kill squad is extremely strong, as you can see. You gotta invest a lot, but it's really worth it. And then after, the Fireball helps to clear off few defenses and accelerate the cleaning process. Few balloons to tank for any air traps or air defenses. The Dragon Rider helps to clear off any defenses and to tank for your minion prince, as you can see. And your cloned Henchmen will help to create more tanking and more cleanup. So yeah, that was the attack. I don't recommend it. This guide was really stupid. I don't even know why I did it.